Hello, welcome to my channel. Coming in. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. You're following me live. I decided to do this very quick impromptu because I have a lot of errands and some other chores to work with. But I hope you can join me. If not live, you can watch the replay, recommend this video, and of course, if you're not subscribed, please do so. So since January the 1st, during the streamathon, started working with some coloring pages. And last Saturday, I advanced a little bit more on the girl and hair. And during the week, I was working with the puppy. Hello, Miriam. Hello, Don. Coming in and welcome. I'm happy that you're here. I hope my internet doesn't break like it usually does. But here we are. So we've been working with the puppy, and we're going to continue coloring this side of the jeans that we have here. Denim is not that complicated if you have one handy in your closet. Okay, so that's something that you can do. Okay, Miriam, thank you very much. And I'm also going to show you something that I was enabled by Shannon from Canada. And I got that one last Sunday. And I haven't been able to color on that book. I will also show you a little bit more on the girl. And we're going to continue with probably a little bit of her blouse or t-shirt. So we're going to try to continue with that one. And I'm also experimenting with pastel chalk and pastel pencil. This is cardstock, so there's got a little bit of curvy. It went through the printer to see if tracing and working with this. Yeah, I'll probably have some blackouts during the stream, but if that happens, just be patient. I'll be back as soon as possible. So this is what I'm using. I'm using the Star Joy gold set that I have, and I've chosen 3 blues, 1 black and 1 gray from, this is impossible to read, Spin, losing the code. But this is Derwent Artists. It's a gunmetal gray. Then we have the black from the Start Joy Gold set. We have a Pacific blue, a blue, and Frozen, like the movie. So there you go. This is what we're going to be using. I already have here 2 handy pencil sharpeners. I have this one that is local brand, and this one that you probably know, and you will probably have it in your stash, is the T-Gull. I just got this one, but it's really nice, particularly nice. So what I normally do with denim? I kind of mix all the colors. There's not a specific method to color. You just have to find what works for you. So what I did first was to go with a very light blue and charcoal through the whites of this that is torn. And then using these 2 blues the frozen and the Pacific blue, what I decided to do was just very, very gently add a layer in between the grays. Normally when people give you coloring tips, they tell you, oh, you have to use small circles. Well, it depends on the texture. This texture has got lines, so what I'm doing is coloring with lines, and I'm going to put this up. So if you can probably see that I'm using lines. Okay, so I'm kind of cross-hatching in certain areas, but I'm following the pattern that the image is giving me. And I forgot to sharpen this one before going live, so here we go. I lost my other color. Put it in a different place. So there you go. So just to scatter your lines somewhere, we're working with this area. And you're going to get to see that little by little you build your color. Okay, so I'm going to separate my black and my gray. And I'm going to sharpen this one as well. So there you go. For a moment, I thought that I was not going to be able to go live. There has been some problems with the connectivity in the area. And my other internet provider has got, well, I got the little package one, or the one that we call the smallest package, so I don't have a lot of megabytes to stream. So I'm trying to rely on the big providers. So now with the Pacific blue, I'm just touching kind of the medium tone here. And as this is really, really white and this one is not, you can get to see the difference, even if it's grayscale. I'm going to continue with the Pacific blue here. I don't have my magnifying glass with me here, otherwise it will be here. So I don't know exactly how would that look. I'll probably have to test these on different videos and see if that works better. Very, very light touches on these. Okay. Go back to your light blue and just use some lines. Okay, there you go. Little by little, we are building the layers. Some people think that because this is grayscale and you have already the dark section or the sections, you should not go too much on top of them. But I think that it really changes if you kind of go through the black sections of your grayscale and add a little bit of color, and then on top of the color you can add more black. So I'm using the blue. This is the darkest blue, and I'm going to go in the dark sections, few lines on top of the light medium tone that we have added. Don't forget the small little areas, crevices that you have here, and add this blue. Probably the camera will not be able to show this fully, and my screen, my projection screen is a little bit small, so I cannot see that fully, but here we go. So very early morning for me. It's not even 6 a.m. yet down here. but I just wanted to go live for probably 30 minutes, probably no more than that. So this is kind of watchable for people who decide to see this later. You can see also rolling through the screen my Instagram, where you can see photos of this, updates, sometimes photos of clouds, some cats, and some other crazy things that I like to do. But mostly I'll try to keep the channel more dedicated to coloring and drawing and not necessarily doing other extra things. So we can have a particular niche here. Okay, I'm going to pull this up so you can see how this is building. I'm moving it around so the light can show you not only how the wax is building on this paper that is recycled and has got a very, very nice texture, but also how the blue on top of black, it's working. This image, by the way, and the girl, they are available by following a Google Drive link. As I forgot to add this link on the description of this video, but last Saturday has got the link. The stream on January the 1st has got the link. So if you want to follow along and print these images, you can do so. They are not my images. This image belongs to Eileen Bick, and her books are available on Amazon. And the girl image is from a Facebook group. The author is James Stan. He did a beautiful collection of baby girl faces, and I have downloaded a lot of those faces, and I'll probably color more. Kind of interested this year to work with animal textures for the fur, the skin, in the case of some other animals, feathers in the case of birds. I want to improve that. And I also want to work a little bit more on faces. So that's why I got a kind of big collection of skin sets, portrait sets that you can also see in previous streams. If you have any question about the techniques or things that I normally use, you can ask it. You can use the comment section, or you can do it during the lives. So here I have a very, very black section here. So this is like the darkest shadow over here. So we have to be very careful with those dark areas. We don't want to build that much wax on top of this paper. Otherwise, it's not going to allow us to lay down more pigment. Depending on the color is the wax that you're going to get. And of course, depending on the paper, the more texture it could have, like white spaces. You can use a paper that is very smooth, but then I'll recommend that if it's a very smooth paper, then you add first a layer of markers, or you can also use chalk pencils to rub in your layer, like what I'm going to show with the pastels later on. Okay. And as Miriam says, yeah, this is patience. I mean, working with color pencils is not really automatic. It's not like alcohol markers or water-based markers that you can go easily and cover a surface really, really fast. What you normally do here is just with circles, with cross hatching, with trying to follow the texture you work. I'm adding a little bit of gray to some areas, but trying not to cover the blues. This one that is black that I decided not to touch, I'm going to go directly with the black color. I'm not using yet the Prismacolor Premier Black. For me, that's the best black. And after that, you can use a Sharpie or any other marker that you have that is really, really black. And that is because with the way I have my light set up, I can get to see how I build up the wax layers here. So I just want it to be black for me to look waxy, but also at the same time not to put so much wax here. I'll probably add a little bit of black on these areas. And you can check, let me use my pencil as a pointer. We just worked this kind of a strange area in around, what, 15-20 minutes, more or less. I think I started my life at around 17 minutes. Yeah, 17 minutes ago, more or less. So this is what we have, around 12 to 14 minutes to cover something. And well, and this is letter size paper, so it's not really big. For bigger areas, better use something different. Okay, so we're going to move down to this part. These artificial intelligence images, because this is AI, are normally given free by Eileen on her Facebook group. I don't buy the books. I prefer to buy the books of artists that do not rely on artificial intelligence to do their art. But if I get to see freebies that are generated by artificial intelligence, I download them and I use them to practice. I have 2 working sets for that, and that's the Star Joy Gold. And the other one is that there weren't artists that I have in a bundle that I was able to kind of curate these with my own selection of colors when they were sold independently, and you were able to find them and just buy individual colors. That was good. Not anymore, at least where I live, not anymore. And I use those as working sets. If I'm going to do commission work or something like that, then I prefer to go to the Prismacolor Premier or the Polychromos because they are light, fast tested. And that's something that you can guarantee your client that the color will not fade under regular museum light conditions. Of course, it would be impossible to guarantee that if they put whatever directly in front of a window where the sun is there for 12 hours, that wouldn't be the case. But you just tell the people, and you know what? Be careful. What is important with commission work is try not to use pinks or purples or lilac, because it doesn't matter the set that you use, professional or scholar or student grade. Those colors, those families, they don't have good light fast results. There are a lot of people on YouTube who have carried out experiments with a lot of brands. One of them is, and I think the best, is Sarah Renee Clark. She's from Australia, and she's got a video that is like 30 or 40 minutes long with all the experimentation she did for lots of sets. especially professional sets. So if you're still wondering which is like the best set for you, you can watch the video. Start with a set that is not that overwhelming. I mean, it's beautiful to see a complete set of 72 or 120 or 150 colors. But then, if you cannot replace your favorite colors individually, that's going to be a problem. It's much better a smaller set, 36, 48 colors. So then you can learn how to mix colors with layers and create any colors that you have. Probably next week, I'll show you a book that has been with me since college. And it has got percentages of the base colors: magenta, yellow, cyan blue, black, and white. And with those five, the book shows you more or less how you can combine colors. It's good for color pencil if you have the experience, but it's much better for water-based techniques, because you can get to see in the book kind of a strip of color, and then underneath you have got this has got 30% magenta, 10% yellow, and 10% blue. And what it does is, don't think about the percentages. You see 30, 10, 10. So if you're working with acrylics, for example, 3 drops of red, 1 drop of yellow, 1 drop of blue, and you get your color. It works. It really works. If you're really, really bad at creating your own palettes, then there are a lot of free resources on the internet that you can use. You can also buy. I'm not going to hinder the marketing efforts of people who sell, for example, the color cubes. That's Sarah Renner Clark. Or if you go to Amazon, you can also find artificial palettes that you can buy. But if you have access to internet, there are free palettes, lots of them, free sites. And some of them don't require subscription, and you can combine your own colors. Okay, so let's concentrate just a little bit. And there you go. I do believe that, Miriam. I think that color is magic. It doesn't matter what art or craft you're dedicated to. When you add color, just everything changes. There are some images that you get to see in grayscale, black or white, photographs or paintings or something like that, and they look just amazing. But the moment you add a little bit of color, then everything pops up quite much. Okay, there you go. And you can see how this small little section is built by me just adding lines like they don't have a particular rationale behind, because I'm trying to keep the texture of the jeans mostly. And they are practice. These are not pieces that are going to go for a client or something like that. They're just going to go into my coloring pages binder that I have shown before. I'll show it again next Saturday, because I don't have it here handy. My studio is mobile, so I normally put around me what I think that I'm going to use. And if during the stream I have an idea of something, then I'm like, okay, I don't have it here. I have to go downstairs and fetch some books or binders, and that's a little bit difficult to do. Thank you, Don. Thank you very much. It's too cold today. We are at 8 centigrades. So it's going to be a hot day, luckily. But the morning was particularly cold. How do I know that? Because I normally have my cats sleeping by my side when it's very cold. So early morning, before setting these here and getting ready to stream, I was like, oh, I cannot stretch my legs. What's the problem? Well, my cats, they were sleeping down there. Right now they have had breakfast and they're quite happy, sleeping back again. They're back in their beds. One of them is here with me. She's sitting somewhere there, looking at me like saying, why are you talking and you're not looking at me? So she's a little bit puzzled about me speaking aloud. But this is also very, very good training for me for next Monday when we start our new term. So again, we're going to have a lot of groups, one class after the other. So it's going to be 4 hours and a half of class, 3 different groups, 3 different levels of English. And this time I've got some very basic level students. They really don't speak that much. So I hope that they don't get frustrated or something, because we normally don't mix classes in 2 languages. They have to learn to understand just the target language, as we said. Okay. All right, Miriam, thank you very much. Please take care of yourself. Okay. So if you stream tomorrow, I'll watch there. If you continue sick, please let us know. Take care. Okay, so I kind of like how this is looking. And yeah, we have not really escaped the flu and colds and things like that. Some people in my family got influenza for several days, especially during the Christmas and New Year celebrations. So we didn't get to see them. It's particularly dangerous to be exposed in areas where people are sick. And well, I'm trying to take care of myself as well and take care of my voice, because that's my working instrument. But the good thing is that so far I have escaped the colds and escaped the flu. Let's see on Monday, because we have a lot of students coming, and then when they are all together in the same classroom, so everything starts spreading. So that's not good. And here it's, let me do something here before I move on. I'm going to get another sweater to cover my back. Normally when dawn breaks, it feels a little bit colder down here. So there you go. Another section that I'm going to pull up so you can get to see how we're doing with these. There you go. So that's how we're going to carry on with the rest of the coloring. So far I have added this very light blue on this section, and most of this has got a lot of white, so I'll probably add acrylic pen in the whites in case I go over by accident with any of these. So let me just put the blues somewhere here so I can mix them. And I'm going to take the girl. I'm going to continue a little bit with her hair here for the people who didn't get to watch that bit from previous streams. And then I'm going to start with this section of her blouse or t-shirt. Let me just put the doggy away and far away from the reach of my cat. Okay. Right. So there you go. So later on, we're going to be able. Bye, Dawn. Take care. I'm going to continue with this other image. Is more a Halloween image. Somewhere here, there is a dark castle and there's a moon. It's really, really soft. But some people are interested in trying to find out how to color black fur. So we'll try to work with this one later on in following streams. And this cat is also available in the Google Drive. And from here, I'm just going to work a little bit with, again, the Star Joy set. We're doing some browns and some oranges. We're also using the colors. And over here, I'm just going to do kind of a recap, and then we're going to close the stream. So for hair, just go around and do very, very soft, like strands of hair. Don't go in volume coloring because you're not going to get this kind of silky effect. I always go light to dark, and I go in different sections until I get to the dark colors. So a recommendation that I normally give people is, if you're not going to be working with the image constantly and you're going to be having like works on different periods, so put all the colors that you're using. And here I have all the potential colors that I've been using for the hair. So far here, I'm not using any black. So get your colors, get a photo, and you're going to have your reference colors available all the time. So this was a very, very short stream. And to close this stream, I'm going to show you the book that I got last Sunday that I was enabled by. And I have another one coming, but that's going to be a surprise. And I got this one that a lot of people already have, by Christine Karen. Beautiful paper, beautiful book. I kind of like it. And what I'm going to do is, before I start coloring some of the portraits, and here I have different cultures, and I like the way she draws the eye. Oh, there's a man here. Nice. I'll probably do an experiment here with different colors. I'm going to kind of mix the Starjoy with the Prismacolor Premiere that I've got, like a working set. I've got the 48, so if they kind of wear out fast, I'll get another one. So during the week, you're going to see me updating these particular 4 projects. You're going to see updates of the puppy. You're going to see updates of the girl. You're going to see something related to this book. And you're going to get to see updates on how to use pastel, chalks, and pencil, and then on top, color pencils. So with this, we close the stream for today. Thank you very much for coming. And if you're watching later on in the afternoon, in the evening, or in another day or time, please don't forget to like this video, to recommend it, share it, and please subscribe. I'll try to be streaming early Saturdays at around this time. And have a very good weekend and an excellent week. Take care, guys. Bye.